Your life is a lot better than you think. It really isn't that bad. You're probably caught in the middle here where you're smart enough to recognize your trauma, your problems, your hardship, the reasons that you're upset. But the truth is, that's just part of the process. And the more you start to think about your life and the more you ruminate, the more you're going to end up over to the right. And once again, you'll be saying, look, life isn't that bad. I know you have problems. You've probably got a lot of them. Some small, some big. You might have career problems. You might have family problems. You might have friendship problems. You might have life direction problems where you don't know what you're going to do with your life. You might have money problems. You're struggling to pay the bills. There are loads of problems. And life is really hard when you have big problems that are preventing you from living your regular life. But what I want to focus on here is that your problems become not just big, but impossible to beat if you just start to settle into the doom and gloom. You start to worry about things. You start to get stressed. All you think about is problems. There's a quote from Robin Sharma, I think, and he says, what you focus on grows. And it's so true. Like, the more you think about how bad you've got it, the worse you'll have it. The more you focus on those problems, the more cluttered and crowded your mind gets, like a big dark cloud is in your mind. But when you can implement a positive mindset, it's like that cloud goes away. And yes, you still have problems, but you have the clarity to work through them. That's the key. Building the skill to be able to snap out of a negative mindset and into a positive one should be your number one priority. That is the most important skill that you need to learn. Because a good life, a happy life, is not about having no problems. It's about being able to navigate the problems that you do have and stay uplifting even through the problems. Let me tell you a story, an Indian folktale about the rabbit and the falling fruit. One day, a rabbit was sitting under a tree when all of a sudden, an apple fell from the tree and hit the ground and created a thud. The rabbit started to panic. It thought the world was ending. It ran around the forest, like telling everyone, "The sky is falling, the sky is falling." It went to the wise lion and it said, "The sky is falling." And the lion said, "What do you mean the sky is falling? Like, what actually happened?" So the rabbit took the lion back to the tree, and the lion saw that it was just a piece of fruit that had fallen from the tree. And I love this story because it reminds me of myself. Something happens and all of a sudden, everything's ending, everything's over. It reminds me of all of my family and my friends who, whenever something small happens, it seems like everything's crumbling. Like, I spent Christmas with my sisters this year, and not to belittle their problems, but some of the problems they were telling me about people from school and stuff, I started to think like, oh man, these are not problems. And then it made me realize that whatever problems that I'm having, that I'm telling my maybe dad about, he's probably thinking, oh, these aren't really problems, these are just small things. And that is happening every single time you have a complaint, a problem. Someone might be doing it worse, someone might be doing it better. But the trick is to understand that you don't have to overreact. You don't have to wallow in the problem. You don't have to create this big mountain out of a molehill. Even if it is a big problem, like, there's no need to ruminate on it so much that you start to clutter your mind. And now that problem actually is a problem because it's made you depressed. It's made you sit at home and do nothing. It's made you bring your others down, your partner, your friends. Why let the problem consume you when you could think about it logically and think about what actually is happening and what actually is the way forward? If a young child were to complain to you about their homework, you'd be thinking, dude, homework? That's your problems? Like, I've got bills to pay. But then if you talk to someone who has bills to pay and your daughter is sick, you would say, dude, your bills are nothing. They're meaningless. My daughter's sick. She could die in hospital. And it's not just like that. It's also every stage in life you look back and you think, man, I can't believe I was worrying about homework. I can't believe I was worrying about bills. And then you start to realize, the more you think about it, that one day every problem that you have will be insignificant. When you're 85, those problems will be insignificant. Unless they are life-threatening, unless people are sick and dying around you, those problems will one day be insignificant to you. And when you understand this, nothing can really bother you anymore. And when I say bother you, I mean throw you off course. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be down. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be overwhelmed. But the problem is when you start to focus on those problems so much that you can no longer escape them. You can no longer work through them if you just focus on them. I'm assuming you're watching this on a phone or a laptop. And if that's the case, our problems are small in comparison to what humanity has endured up until this point. Most likely, you're in the top 1% of wealth of all time. In history, I should say. You could probably go into your shower and turn on hot water, which probably can't really be done before. You can go to a supermarket and buy food. You don't have to hunt. Do you see what I'm saying? When you focus on what you have rather than the problems that you're experiencing, you start to realize how much you've got and how small your problems are. Especially if your problems are homework, a girl at school, someone who said something mean to you. Those are not problems. Make sure you keep the perspective in mind of what a real problem is. Someone's dying, someone's sick. That's really worth worrying about. The rest of them can be navigated, and you will have to navigate problems in your life. And so why put yourself at a disadvantage by wallowing in these problems and being upset and thinking, why me? Why me? It's happening to you, so you're gonna have to just deal with that, and that's okay, and that's good. And every time you go through it, you navigate a problem, you'll realize, oh, that problem wasn't so bad. Every exam you've ever done, afterwards you thought, oh man, if only I studied, it wasn't actually that hard. If only I would have studied earlier, I would have made this a lot easier on myself. So to summarize all that, to clear your mind, to be able to navigate life better, have the ability to time travel and move forward through life and then look back at your problems and say, are my problems really that significant? And you'll start to see that 99% of your problems aren't that significant. There's always a solution to those problems. It's just going to take time and effort. But if you can transport yourself forward or zoom out, maybe you'll start to have more clarity and be able to move through the problems, which is actually productive, rather than just worry about what problems you do have. Because I'll tell you what, we've all got problems. Sometimes I think I'm the only one with problems, but I know that's not true once I have clarity, once I think about it. And so I just wanted to share that message with you to hopefully ease the suffering that you're probably putting on yourself. Or maybe that's other people are putting on you. But the message is you can zoom out, think more, and make life easier for yourself and make yourself a more robust life experiencer, someone who can navigate the hardships. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like if you did, leave a comment, and subscribe for these weekly. Thank you.